All right, so it's another rainy day at the shade tree, so no outside work getting done today, but we got some pretty exciting news to do, things to do inside. So let's check it out. All right, so back working on the car. So little background: when I first put the car together the first time, it was a 302, fuel injected 302 out of a Mustang with a Vortec and a T5. Car was a lot of fun to drive. Wasn't necessarily that fast, but it was a lot of fun to drive. And when I did the LS swap on it, I went with the Turbo 400, which was awesome because I was able to do it myself. It's the first transmission I ever rebuilt, and it worked really well. Ran a bunch of mid-10s, mid-10s, low 11s with the car, and that transmission still is alive. It's in mush junk now, the other car you've seen on the channel one time. But so I was deciding on what I wanted to do now. And I could go Turbo 400, but if I do it, I'd like to buy a nice one, and I'd like to get a real bell housing for it, an ultra bell and that stuff, just to be legit and safe. And just adding up the price, and it got expensive. Yeah, and just started looking at all the different options and decided I wanted to go 5-speed again, and or go manual, right? So there's a couple of options out there that people are making. There's a LOJ makes a swap so you can use a 6-speed out of like a Nissan Frontier Xterra kind of deal. And then there's also Fabbot, I guess is how you say it, but they make a swap for AR5, and there's quite a bit of good data out there on AR5. So that's what we went with. That's what I went with. So if you check it out, this is either going to be the coolest or non-coolest thing on the channel, really, because this is an AR5. I paid $266 for it, and it has like 340,000 miles on it. So hopefully the synchros are good. The reason I went for it, it was cheap, and really you can't neglect something and have it last that long. So I figured the transmission had to be taken care of. The truck had to be maintained some sort to get that many miles out of it. So today we're gonna start taking this thing apart. I actually had to sit outside in the rain, which is kind of a bummer, but I got it out of the rain so you can kind of see the rust. So we're gonna get it start taking it apart, and I've got the whole kit from Fabbot, and dudes are super cool. So because my big thing is I want a SFI bell housing, right? And the only 4L60E bell housing available right now is a Qiucktime, and they're like anywhere from $800 to $1,000. And so I was talking to these guys, and they mentioned JW might make an SFI, so he said he'd look into it and call me. And he called me back and said, Qiucktime's the only option, but he'd let me know that on Amazon there's one on sale right now for like $550 versus the $800 or $900 he would have to charge me. So we were on the phone. I hopped on Amazon, bought the bell housing, and then went ahead and placed the kit. I've got their whole kit minus the bell housing. So we're gonna start taking this thing apart and get it together. So it's pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna get started. First thing you gotta do is take out the throwout bearing and then the bell housing. So we'll get this throwout bearing off and go from there. Need a battery. Alright, so that was easy enough. Now we're going to take out the bell housing bolts. See how those are. Yeah. I don't want to break my Harbor Freight ratchet. Alright, so ratchet, we're going with the impact. Hopefully I don't regret this. So that all came out really nice, but two, let me put a ratchet on them since I broke them loose. I don't want to screw anything up. Nope, those two don't want to play. Let's see here. That's not giving me a warm fuzzy. It's entirely too tight. Had a lot of Loctite on this too. What is all this one? It's kind of weird. Yeah, so for whatever reason, the two that were really hard, looks like they had a bunch of green Loctite or something on them. Some kind of something. Alright, let's zip the rest of these out. Alright, let's get a dead blow and see if we can get this thing separated. Ta-da! Alright. Just making sure these two that were really hard to get out. Yeah, threads seem okay, so I don't know, but you can definitely see two of them had Loctite on it, so I wonder if this thing's been rebuilt once before or something, which I'm okay with. But so that's it without the bellhousing stuff. So now I gotta go get the parts I got from Fabbot, and we will get them put on. All right, I went and grabbed the stuff from Fabbot, and it has the machined plate. So this is the adapter plate that goes from the AR5 to the 4L60E bell housing. It came with new lines, the adapter for the throw out and a throw out bearing, and new hardware for the bolts. So it's pretty cool. So they got a good YouTube channel, so I'm going to check it out and make sure I install this stuff right. So you know how sometimes the fine print gets me, so I'm going to try to prevent that this time and only do it once. All right, so been watching Fabbot's, and I was saying it wrong, it's Fabbot, not Fabbot, but Fabbot's video on installing this thing. So I'm just gonna go step by step with their video so I don't mess it up and get this thing on. All right, hold up. It looks like my dowel pin stayed in the bell housing, so the transmission. So let me get those pulled out and then we'll get back on this. All right, I'm going to knock these things out. Probably end up losing it on the floor, but we'll cross that bridge. Got one. Got two and didn't lose it. All right, so we got our dowel pins in now. So now this guy should fit like so. Then the Fabbot kit comes with all new hardware, so that's cool. So get these started. Then we're probably going to pause it and watch more of their video. Make sure I get all these in right, because I thought I lost one, but here it is. So now we're good. So we got all. So you got all of those, and then it comes with these socket head ones. They go in the bottom three. So now we'll get all these tightened down, and then we'll end up having to get a torque wrench out and torque them down here in a minute. But wrong size. All right, let me see if I have a bit for that, which I don't know. Too big. Hey, look at there. We actually got one. All right, so we're gonna pause there, dig out the torque wrench, and watch the video some more to figure out what the torque's supposed to be and get this thing torqued down. All right, so all these bolts get torqued down to 40 foot-pounds. So I had to go dig up my little adapter for that guy. And we'll start with these guys. It'll be interesting to see how close it is with the Harbor Freight ratchet there. Did I get all those? Did I miss one? We'll check them. I think I might have missed that one. That one's good. That one's good. 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 Yep, I did miss that one. Good. Good. Let's get these bottom three. All right, got all those torques, so let's continue on the video. All right, so found updated video. So this is a next gen adapter which came out like a year ago. So I was looking at the 2-year-old video instead of the 1-year-old video. So next thing we need to do is take these 3 guys out and replace them with button head screws. So we will get those zipped out and go from there. All right, so here's the 3 little button head screws it comes with to replace these guys. So we'll get them in there. Now, I really don't know if I have anything that small. All right, so I don't have that kind of socket, but I have Allen wrenches. Got to figure out how I'm going to torque this thing, but we'll see. All right, so let's say I torque these things to 22 foot-pounds, which I don't think I can get there with this. Let me check one more time for Saquito. All right, so I don't have a socket or anything to torque these to 22 foot-pounds, so we're just going to go for, we'll see. I feel like 22. It is. I'll be so pissed when that leaks, but y'all can remind me in the comments that I should have took the time to torque it right. But anyway, on to the next step. All right, so got those torqued down, kind of. Anyway, so now we're going to do the slave cylinder. It comes with a slave cylinder adapter flange. So stick that on, and then you want to get your slave cylinder out, which I think I got to put the hoses on this first. So let me go grab the hoses real quick, because I think they need to go on first. Then we'll go from there. Let me grab some hoses. So it comes with these nice -3 stainless steel hoses. So hopefully this will work out. Let's see here. Losing stuff. All right. Now I just need to figure all this out. Which, to be honest with you, I'm not too sure. So let me go do some more reading and we'll be back. All right, so had to watch another video. So take these things off, throw them away, and then use the stuff that came in the kit with the lines. So let me get these things off. We'll start with this one first. You got to knock a roll pin out. So that sounds easy. So that's it looks like. Oh, no, my punch broke. Darn it. But it's almost out. Let me see if I can get this out with some pliers. Alright, so I got lucky and the roll pin didn't come all the way out before my punch broke, but I got it out. So that guy goes there, and then you replace it with this guy. Alright, we got it in there, and now we'll knock the roll pin back in. Alright, so roll pin's in, got that one fixed. Let me grab a wrench. Alright, so this thing's kind of oddball size, so we got the crescent hammer to get it loose. And then in the kit, they give you a copper washer. And this guy. So we can stick him there with the copper washer. And then he should be good. Do, do, do. Alright, got that tight, so hopefully it don't leak. And now, the top hose is your bleeder, so that's kind of nice. The bleeder can be up. We don't have to worry about trying to get to it. And then this one will eventually make itself to the clutch master cylinder. That didn't sound good. Hopefully that's nothing I need. And we're gonna need something to hold this to get it tight. Sweetness. So hopefully neither of those leak. And now you can get this guy on here, get the slave cylinder and the adapter plate. You gotta line up the holes. And I got bolts for that somewhere. We got these guys. Alright, so we got those started. Now you'll take your lines, loop them around, and they go in a nice fitting there. same thing with this guy. I'm wondering, we'll have to see how the bell housing fits there. But we can go ahead and tighten these guys down. Then we got to find the torque spec. Do that by hand. All right, so don't be like me. If you only got to torque something to 86 inch-pounds, don't zip it in with your electric ratchet. So I did kind of strip this one out a little bit, but I was able to find a longer bolt, luckily, and we're in there now. So dumb move, but it's in there, it's good. So let me dig out the bell housing, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so I got the Qiucktime 4L60 bell housing. So hopefully this will work. I haven't seen a lot of other people with SFI bell housings because it seems like a lot of these swaps get done for cruiser types and not really for drag racing. But I plan on hitting it pretty hard with the drag strip, given my driving abilities. We'll see how that goes. But unfortunately, if you look right there, I got 5 bolts, 3 washers, and there's a big hole in my box, and all the bolts were sitting in the bottom of the box. So I am guessing they got lost in shipment, which kind of stinks. But we'll go from there. We'll see. Anyway, not sure what to think about that. It's kind of a bummer, but that happens sometimes with shipping. It seems like a lot of my boxes have been coming in crushed lately. Somebody doesn't like me ordering all these heavy car parts. But anyway, all right, let's see if we can finagle this thing on here. All right, so it's definitely going to fit. One thing, the dowel pins doesn't fit like the 4L60 stock bell housing. The bit dowel pins fit in here, where this doesn't come with dowel pins, which I've seen they talk about you're supposed to indicate it onto your engine and stuff, but I don't know how I could do that and then get it bolted together. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put it together for now, and then we'll cross that bridge when we need to. Okay, so I guess you can, once I get it, I guess technically I should put it on the motor, and then they have cutouts so you can get all your stuff started, I guess. But we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna do some more research, but let me know in the comments if I definitely need to indicate this thing and on the engine. I've never had a SFI bell housing. I've always just had stock junk. So let me know. Cool, so I'm just going to tighten up 2 of these. Just got the rest started just so I don't lose the bolts, but there's no need to tighten them down yet until I figure out if I have to index this thing on the motor or not, since there's no dowel pins. I'm guessing I'm going to need to index it. Yeah, so the Fabbot kit is nice. I mean, everything's going together like it's supposed to, which is cool. And you know, I really don't think I'm going to index this thing, because if you look, the 3 dowel pins, there's one, there's one, there's one, and they're riding, you know, right against the Qiucktime. So you know how I've said many times in my videos, close enough. I think that actually might be close enough. So, but I'll still do some research. But you can see it's looking pretty cool. Got the Qiucktime, got the AR5, got the big old truck shifter. So that's the next thing we're putting. I also got the Fabbot short throw shifter, so we'll get that put on and see how it goes. So yeah, when I got this, it came with the stock truck shifter, which you can see that thing is gigantic. I went ahead and spent the money on the billet short throw shifter from Fabbot, which looks pretty sharp. Looks real good actually. So and it's got positive stops, so hopefully when I'm banging gears I won't bend anything in the transmission. I don't know if that's how this one works, but positive stops are always a good idea, I thought. So we're gonna get this thing took off and get the billet one put on. All right, so let's see if we figure this out. I ain't done much reading, but I figure it can't be that hard. So gotta take shifter in. Dude, that thing's beefy. Take that off. I'm guessing we gotta get this boot off. Doesn't look like the boot comes off, so we'll just take out these 4 bolts. All right, so got all the bolts out. This thing comes out. So you can see how they both have the same little shifter ball on the bottom that goes in the tray of the rack. So it has a gasket, so we'll just reuse that gasket. Get this thing. I wonder if I should have had it in a certain gear before. Huh. Oh, let me put a different gear here. Let's find neutral. All right, there's neutral. See if we can get this guy in neutral. Yeah, still not the right way. Interesting. So it's not gonna fit because I got these guys in the shifter. I got these guys also. So all right, crisis averted. These things come out really easy. So I've got some needle nose. Oh, this one's gonna make me a liar. The first one like popped out super easy. Now look at this junk. It don't want to come out. All right, there we go. The first one came out easy. So now we should be good to go. If I didn't lose the gasket. Anybody see where the gasket went? Really? Found it. You stop looking. Oh yeah, works much better when you do it the right way. And it comes with new bolts, so we'll put those in. I'm gonna see if they're any longer than the stock ones, or if they're just a little different. So got these tight, and then I'll have to do some figuring. This thing is so much more short throw than the stock one. That's pretty crazy. So we'll have to get this positive stop set up. So there's first, second. Then third, fourth, fifth, then reverse is down and over. So yeah, that's so much better feeling than the stock shifter. Very happy with that. and we'll get all this set up and locked in. So hopefully it keeps me from doing silly stuff, which I think is pretty good right there. So let's go ahead and we may have to adjust this once it's in the car, but we should be good for now. Sweet. So to recap, we have a $266 transmission. That's the cheapest part. The shifter costs more than that. The bell housing costs more than that. The adapter plate costs more than that. So we'll see. Hopefully we will get this thing set up. And you know, unfortunately, you know, I'm probably still 3 months away from the car being done, but the plan is to find another one of these transmissions, have it sitting in the garage. That way it kind of guarantees this one won't break. If I don't find one by the time I get the car, this one will probably break. So that's my goal. But yeah, I'll do some more reading on the Qiucktime bell housing and do some more figuring on the thing. And there's a train going by. But yeah, so far really like the shifter, really like the bell housing, and like I said, the guys at Fabbot were pretty awesome, because they could have just quoted me a price for that and charged me 400 more bucks if I would have decided to go that way. But I was kind of on the fence, and then, like I said, they were hopped on Amazon and looked at Amazon and found one for 500 bucks and told me about it, and I hopped on and bought it while I was on the phone with them. And then we got all this stuff shipped out. Shipping was good. Their stuff's nice, so yeah, I wouldn't worry about buying anything from those guys. Pretty cool stuff. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you know about the bell housing. You know, if you really think I should dial indicate that mess and stuff on the engine or not. Let me know in the comments, and we'll keep at it.